The City of Water Valley Monthly Board Meeting, sponsored by Bank First of Water Valley.
Well, this is the day that the Lord has made, and let us rejoice and give thanks in it. So, Daniel, would you lead us in prayer?
Yes, sir. Dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful to come before you tonight as a group, as a community, to do your will in this community and to do good works, to provide for the people, to represent them. And Lord, we ask that you bless this gathering, keep us safe, and let your will be in our works. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Salute. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, is there a motion that we approve that the agenda be approved for tonight's meeting? There's a motion and a second. All in favor will say aye. That is passed. Now we have the minutes, and the minutes have been distributed. Is there a motion that the minutes of the last meeting be approved?
Make a motion.
There's a motion and second. All in favor will say aye. That is done. Now there is the matter of paying our bills. Now the bills have been distributed, and this falls the time to.
I got one somewhere. I got a
Well,
question.
she sent it by. Okay, go ahead.
We got the expense to Lee's Auto for 4 tires and a leveling kit. What we put a leveling kit on?
On Lee's tires or auto?
That would be my truck, Mr. Anderson. We put bigger tires on it, the leveling kit on the front end, so put bigger tires on it.
Okay. I was just wondering because I didn't think
Well,
That's a new set of
All
tires
right,
also.
well,
I didn't think we needed anything on the patrol. 'Cause I was
No,
just
That's not the pickup that
All
I'm
right.
using. It's got-
Is there
put
further-
bigger tires and got a level front and bigger tires.
Is there further discussion on the claims docket? Is there a motion that the claims docket, or monthly bills as it's called with cities, be approved? Is there a second? Motion and second. All in favor will say aye. That is passed. Now, we have the privilege, this is the second time today, we've had the privilege of Honorable Kevin Horan. I will tell you, we were at Solero today, just to bring you a brief report, and we have great news from Solero about proposed expansions, and you know, a good thing keeps on giving, and they've got General Motors is coming, and they've got contracts with them that are in the tens of millions and the new ones, and then they've got other new contracts too. So we're very pleased, and we were able to meet with the CFO of Solero today, and he was, he was very pumped on Water Valley. And so we're the American plant of the entity in Romania that stretches from Romania, Germany, Czech Republic, and Water Valley. So they're moving more equipment in, and we're very, very, very pleased and upbeat with that. So I think there is a lot going on in the valley, and I recognize Kevin. I had the privilege of serving with him, and also we had Senator Super here today. Kevin, we've made a tremendous amount of progress, and you know, with the Civic Center is open with a legislative appropriation, you voted for it, and the electric, we've got 41 miles of right-of-way cleared with some of the money that the legislature authorized, and that is going to save a ton of money. And we've got broadband for the city, the entire city of Water Valley now, 2,100 connections, and the legislative money that we passed helped that, and we're getting pole replacements. So we're going now. Last year we had a proposal we were this close to getting it. Jeff Atwell met with us, with me, and and Kevin and Senator Suber and others, and they were really pushing. We were trying to get $1 million in the projects bill, and everything was looking good. But when the elephants tussle, us mice get trampled. So the projects bill didn't make it. But had we gotten that, this 4K wire that we have that is older than I am, older than 71 years old, we could replace that, and that loses power, Brandon, 10 times more than regular wire.
Costs us 10 times
Costs us
more,
10
too.
times, and we got 28% of the town, Panola Street, Market, the high school, other places that we could have done that, but Kevin is in our corner, and he fought for us, and so we very much appreciate that. And Kevin, you're Water Valley's hometown boy,
Yes, I am.
so the floor is yours.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Mayor and Council. I will tell y'all that we had an unfortunate situation last year with our projects bill, and I talked to a number of y'all here in the room and talked with Brandon about it. We anticipate this year that, I don't know we're going to be able to go back and get twice as much money, but I do anticipate, since we didn't spend our projects money last year, that we're going to hopefully have additional funds available to us this year. My ask last year in the projects bill was $1 million for Water Valley for electricity. I think the year before we got $1.5 million, or was it $1.2 million or something like
$1.5
that.
million, and then 750 a year before.
Yeah, so we're moving and progressing along. Brandon and I talked earlier today, and talked with the mayor, and I don't know, I don't want to get into the weeds, what exactly that money is going to be used for, but I do understand that if we can get this money, we're going to be completely over the hump, but we'll be in pretty good shape as far as moving forward to try to do something about this loss. Paying for electricity, we're not burning in homes. We need to look at that, get that taken care of. We're losing power before it gets to us. We have got to get that fixed. Now, another thing that Tommy and I have talked about, and Brandon mentioned it to me today when I saw him at lunch, is about the sidewalks. We're going to try to do something about part of the projects. I know it's a matching fund involving MDOT has their hands on that particular money, and I know it's matching. I think it's 20% match. We're going to try to do something that would be $300,000. That's going to be part of the ask for this year for Water Valley, and also for a lot of people don't realize. I mean, I come up here and say we're going to get $1 million for City of Water Valley. It also affects the supervisors as well, because everybody that's in the city is also in the supervisor's beat. And I've met with them, and they've got particular requests that they have out in the counties. But sometimes when you go to the Capitol and you're asking for asks, and you say, well, you're getting a big chunk of your money in the city. Well, it also is these folks vote for supervisors as well as city officials, so it does affect the supervisor's beat as well as the wards. But I anticipate that the ask this year will be including the $1 million that we didn't get last year, plus some additional money for electric and the sidewalk project. And I also anticipate that we're going to try to get some money. I've talked to Chairman Lamar about us trying to get some one-time money to some municipalities under $25,000 for some development inside the city that would involve infrastructure upgrades, water, things of that nature. So if y'all have any needs, that
Fire,
water and fire, we're going to try to get some money allocated this year for some municipalities under $25,000, which is a lot in Mississippi, and it may not be a lot, but we are going to try to divvy up some money since we didn't get projects out last year. We're hopeful that we're going to have extra funds available for, for for infrastructure needs within small municipalities, mid-range municipalities within the state. The big deal here in Water Valley is our electricity, making sure. I got stopped coming over here from Dr. Everett's office, and somebody asked me, said, my electricity went off 5 times last week. I'm like, well, we'll see if we can do something about that. So I will tell everyone that we've made strides. I say we have. City of Water Valley has made tremendous strides improving on the electricity issue here, and I'm hopeful that we can get this project money this year. I'm confident that we will have a projects bill, and it's a possibility we'll have a bond bill, but I'm not so sure about that. But I anticipate projects will be back online this year, and we can continue to get this electricity issue resolved, or take another step toward getting it resolved. The only other thing I'm going to talk to y'all about that's coming up, and I think I talked about it last year, school choice bill. It's going to be a hot bill in the House. I don't mind talking about it. It's something that is going to be debated. I will tell everyone here, and I haven't been shy about making these statements. I'm in favor of some school choice to have some of the areas in the state that aren't getting some of the funding or some of the things that they need to give some opportunities to some students. Until we don't have a bill yet, until we get a bill out, I can't tell y'all what my position is going to be, but I will say that it's going to be a hot issue this year, and I think it's critical to Yellow Bishop County, Water Valley, and Coffeyville that we stay on top of it and make sure there's not something in there that's going to hurt our school here in Water Valley. And I'm dedicated. I'm a product of Water Valley High School. All my family was. Kin folks here feel like we're going to have to do what we can to make sure we don't lose any student population out of our school system here. Whether they go north or go to private school, I'm not in favor of doing anything that's going to diminish our population or take any funding away from our public schools here. And I'm dedicated to doing that. But anyway, with that, Mayor, I don't know what else y'all may have questions
I
on.
just want to say that Coach McLeod always spoke highly of you. You
Well,
played
he's a
on
good
his
coach.
championship
He's a good-
team.
yeah,
So he always spoke highly of you.
I tried to
That's a
make
good
practice.
source,
I
I
tried
tell
to
you.
make practice, you know, but anyway, sometimes it was tough.
Well, I think we all need to express our appreciation for Kevin's work, and you know, I know how it is on the projects bill, and y'all.
I feel like
stay
we're
up
gonna
all
have some
night.
issues. Yeah,
I know.
it's a tough time down there. Tommy, you know, he was down there long enough. You know, we wrote the code. He was there when we wrote the old code and the new code. He was down there so long. Yeah, that's right. Every time that we got a revision, Tommy was part of it for 40-something years, and I can tell you,
Well, there's things
Tommy
in
did a
there
great
that-
job down there.
Well, you're doing a great job, and
I appreciate it.
it.
I appreciate everyone in this room, everyone here, and I think Water Valley's moving in the right direction, and we need to continue to do that. But the main thing we want to get done is we got to keep moving forward on this electricity issue that we've got. That's part. And also, if we can, get some more infrastructure money, because that means everything to development in a municipality the size of Water Valley is close to growth everywhere else.
I tell you what, we've got a 300, we're fixing, Kevin, I believe we're right on the verge of, our industrial site down here is really coming on. I think we're on the verge of something. So.
I will say this, we had the groundbreaking today also up on the Highway 7 project from Oxford down to the Split. Some of you may know that we had that project on the board, Mayor does, that back in 17, and we actually had it
Oh, yeah.
coming on down, but anyway, now we're at money now, we can only afford to go to the Split, so that's where we are. But I anticipate that we will, even though there's some people who are going to fight it, we've got people committed on the House side and some on the Senate side to move forward and try to get it all the way down to Water Valley. If not within the next few years, the next phase, with the next several years. It's going to take a little while for acquisition, but it is definitely a project that is not that costly compared to what the project is from city limits up in Oxford to the split. From the split down to Water Valley won't be near the investment that it is from the split up to Lafayette County. Because we don't have I don't think we have not one bridge. We've got one bridge, but just north of town that is, other than that, it's just basically acquisition and widening, which is not near as expensive as the bridge work. But anyway, that's a project that we're gonna get dedicated to. I talked to Ben Suber, and he's talked about, you know, he lives in Calhoun County, and he represents Water Valley and Calhoun, so he's kind of got he's got a lot of people to look out for him on that particular issue. But he agrees with me that he thinks that we need to, at least, if we can get funding on coming to Water Valley, we need to do it and headed toward Bruce. He knows that's a bigger project as far as finances. It'll take a lot more money to do that to come into Water Valley. But he's dedicated to helping if he can, and I'm hopeful that we can get that project on the board pretty quickly. You know, I appreciate y'all having me, and I appreciate everything y'all do. I try to get up here when I can. We start session first Monday of January, and I'll be back up here when we know where we're on project money. Once we get, last year I didn't come back because I told y'all I was coming back. We never got a project. We never got a figure to fight over, so wasn't any reason to come back. But once we get that figure, I anticipate we'll do it this year. I'll come back, and if there's other smaller projects that y'all have some stuff in the city you need done, special needs, we'll see if we can't stick them in there too. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, we appreciate Kevin, and we look forward to hearing from you again.
But can I ask a
Well, I
question? Recent law changes to help municipalities with dilapidated properties. That's been some action on that, hasn't it?
It has been. It's easier than it was. You know, we changed some things as far as speeding up the process for going forward with the dilapidated property process. And we actually have talked about doing some things this year to expand some. It really came out of the Hinds County delegation. They were looking to try to do some after you remove them, what do you do with some of the properties, and how you develop that property. They want to do some things, green space language and stuff like that. So that code section is going to come back up this year. But my understanding of it is it's a lot easier for towns to move forward with dilapidated housing and things of that. Notice requirements, things like that have been changed to make it easier with guardrails still on there to make sure that property owners are protected. But my understanding is that it should be easier for the city to move forward doing some of that stuff.
Kevin, we appreciate you.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Mayor, the next item is for 7 o'clock, and of course it's not there yet. And
Okay,
so
well, we'll move
at
along.
this time, I would ask that I'd just like to introduce the guy tired.
Oh yeah, we've got the Cub Scout. This is a newly formed Cub Scout troop. We are so glad to have y'all here. Would y'all stand up if you don't mind and say who you are? I know who a lot of you are, but go ahead. Let's start off here.
My name is Bentley Matthias.
All right, Bentley.
My name is Henry Martin.
Ken Turner.
My name Daniel Martin.
We are so glad to have all of y'all here. One day y'all are going to be filling these seats right here, and I know y'all are going to do probably a lot better job than we do right now. So, but the future is in y'all's hands, and we so much appreciate y'all being here today. And so,
I'm going to briefly debrief them.
all right, we'll do. All right, well we can go on a little bit. Thank y'all for coming. Let's go on with the Main Street report. We'll do that.
Good evening, everyone. I have the kind of report everyone likes to receive and to get. Brief with lots of progress. Y'all are going to have heard a lot of this before.
Go ahead.
Did I?
Go ahead, Chris.
The Mississippi State University School of Architecture has given a $20,000 grant to the Water Valley Main Street Association. You all know this, for the Pocket Park. For various reasons on their end, they had not been able to do anything, but finally, last month, Leah Kemp, who is the director of the Small Town Center, was able to work with a couple of professors at the School of Architecture, has produced 3 sets of conceptual drawings for the Pocket Park. The Main Street Board is looking at those now and is going to refine those into a single proposal to bring before y'all and other stakeholders. So we're excited to finally have that movement. You'll remember that the old jail was named one of the 10 most endangered historic sites in the state in October, and we've continued to meet with folks both locally and in Jackson to rally support for that rehab, and we hope that that's going to wind up being an economic advantage for the city rather than a cost, maybe with potential use as commercial office space. So we'll keep working on that and keep looking for grants there. Williams Engineering has sent us some preliminary construction plans for the ARPA-funded projects that we've got.
Preliminary, but pretty close.
Preliminary, but close. It's progress. So we'll push hard to have a set of complete PE stamp plans for y'all to look at the January meeting. Y'all can sign off on that, and then once that gets going, the contractors, McGawns and Mark Levy, can start on demo work, and then as weather allows, can start on construction. So we're really excited to have that news. The Main Street Association elected their new leadership for the 25-26 year. Caitlin Magnuson is president, Karen Turnage vice president. Both of those served in those same offices this last year and did a fantastic job. Kimberly Ingram is the treasurer, and Coulter Fussell drew the short straw and is going to do all the work as the secretary. But we're excited to have that group working together moving forward. We had a really good wind down last month. A lot of new faces in town and some good stuff happening with that. You can see the typically poor pictures reproducing there, but I promise the folks we're having a good time. We've got the cookie stroll coming up, along with the Chamber's Christmas in the Valley this Friday. And we've begun planning for the crappie drop. The crappie sculpture will be on a float in the Christmas parade. And we're excited about that. The one sad news I have is that we thought we had found the perfect thing to throw from there. Our friends at the Army Corps of Engineers had these. They are, but not only could I not talk them out of enough for this, but Mary Sue Stevens couldn't, so there was no hope for me. Yeah. I'd be glad to answer any questions anyone may have. Otherwise, thank you all for your continued
You're
support.
making progress, and we look forward to those bump outs being bump outs.
Yeah,
So
right.
that's good. And then
Slowing some traffic, letting everybody cross the street in safety. And
we've got, I believe, 3 plans on the Pocket Park
Yeah.
potential, and they all are
they
positive.
all have excellent aspects to it. We're going to choose the best ones and put them together.
Well, that sounds good. That sounds good. Well, we appreciate you, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, next, and we've got time, what about our Historic Preservation Committee?
Planning Commission, I think is next.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, the Planning Commission, y'all have a report, sorry.
We have 2 items we need to pass on to you. One is Megan has drafted a amendment to the ordinance. Something that's lacking in the current system is that there's no provision for putting up signs in lots and properties going to be considered for rezoning, which is, I think, the town is growing. There's a lot of newcomers. We can't rely upon word of mouth and the grapevine to spread the word that something's going to be considered for rezoning. It's a draft. Basic idea is somebody wants to ask something to be rezoned, they got to put up a sign, which then starts the process. They come before us, we kick it around, we then make a decision to recommend or not recommend that change. But neighbors and people who might be impacted by any proposed change need to be able to know about it.
I think this could be beneficial or positive. I would like, though, us to refer it to Daniel for his, make sure that it would be in proper ordinance form and come back to us at the next
Yeah.
meeting.
Yes.
Is there a motion to do that? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that's taken care of.
Oh, one other item, we were all appointed at the same time, we're gonna have to come up within our commission a way of staggering the, our appointments so that we roll on and roll off. And what we need to work towards is, also making sure that the proper form is required for, one commissioner from each of the wards and one from the mayor and,
Well, let's, you know, we can, we'll go over our composition ordinance, you know, the rule on the, we'll get that for us for the next meeting, if you would, and we'll go over that.
and that's something to work towards, just moving forward. But first, we've got to determine who's going to roll off, who's going to stay on for 3 years, for 2 years, for 1 year, so that then you can start planning.
But the children of Israel did it by lot as they went into the promised land, so.
Yeah,
you know,
we might end up doing that. Although,
seemed to work fairly well up to, you know, by and large.
how's it working out for them right now, though?
Well, it had a few bumps in the
Yeah.
road, but I mean, you know, it worked for a good little period of time.
Okay, so that's it for planning commission. Please take a look at that ordinance. I think it'd be an important modification to the system as it stands now.
Yeah, it looks like that's just a mock-up of the sign that you have. You've got the whole ordinance, but yeah.
And we have communities around here that do this, so we can look at other ordinances as well.
The idea is we don't want people to suddenly be surprised that something's been resolved. We want everybody to have the opportunity to be aware of it.
Yeah, so it would just need to be posted 10 days before a public hearing. So everybody knows.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank y'all, appreciate it.
Mayor.
All right, we have
Did you want to do that
we want to do the
picture?
Well, we do. Let's do the picture right now. Kids,
Get these kids.
children.
They're falling asleep.
Chancellor Coper said only goes for the kids. Children, come on, let's go up and folks, gather around.
Yeah.
You're representing the people.
Yeah.
All right, Vivian, you're in this too now. You gotta come on.
All right, let's get 2 rows. The young Cub Scouts, y'all come up a little bit, just a step up. Step up, step up, step up. There you go. All right. We are a little heavy on the left side.
Y'all move down.
Yeah, just come around there, Miss Nicole, we'll get balanced there.
Yeah.
Mm. 3, 1, 2, 3.
There we go.
60 years from now, when one of these is United States Senator, who was that old man there? And you know.
I believe they still be there.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Y'all have a good night.
Go back to that room and I'll give you your snack.
Imagine that.
Mr.
Right, the 605 Chestnut hearing. Let's call that.
It's 6:59.
Well, it is 6:59.
I believe they're in the lobby, so I'll invite them.
Well, we could. Is there a historic? Well, let's do that. Is there a historic preservation committee report?
There is.
Cinnamon, is there a report?
Yes. I was waiting to be called.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm Cinnamon Foster, representing the Historic Preservation Commission. Forgive my absence for the last couple of months. We've had some severe illness in the family. Things are looking up, so thank you so much for the prayers and support. So in October, we did go through the process of re-electing all the terms and the election of officers. So your new officers, that's a 1-year term for the officers from October 2025 to 26. The chair is Leanne Black. The vice chair is Mickey Howley. The secretary is Scott Marler, and he is our newest commissioner. And their terms are Leanne Black rolls off on October 2028. Hallie rolls off on 2027. Marla rolls off 2028. Trepanier 2027, and Emily Francie 2027. So when those start rolling off, I'll let you know, and we'll have to see if they want to be reappointed at that time, and we'll move forward. There was a special meeting that was held on November 25th. There was a certificate of appropriateness filed by Matt Dalton. It was approved. He's going to put his law firm's sign over here on
26 South Main.
Okay, I didn't write that down. So 26 South Main, and so the next regular meeting, and everybody is is invited to come if you're interested in our meetings. We do via Zoom. If anybody wants that Zoom link, I'll send it to you. Monday, January 26, 2026. Every quarter we have a regular meeting, and then of course we sprinkle in lots of special meetings, don't we, Vivian? Lots of special meetings because we don't want people to wait. We want to do things in a timely manner. So on September 5th, we had several things happen. We had a COA for the stitchery. They hung a sign. Unfortunately, she's now gone out of business, and we're very sorry to see that business leave. We had another COA for Jackie Kellum for a small sign above the door at 26 South Main Street. Action was approved. Another COA for Yalobusha County for the Duralast membrane roof on the former jail at 103 Calhoun Street. That's the old jail. That's different from the old jail that's on the, okay. So that was approved as well. So they're going to put a roof on it. And we're thinking some good things are to come in the future for that building and that site. We had another COA by FNB Bank at 400 North Main Street. The scope was a new brick facade, 2 walls, 2 signs, flagpole, some lighting, and a 2-bay drive-through. So you can drive through and do your banking over there on the north side. That action was also approved. Another COA, Brett Crawford at 709 North Main Street. If you are familiar with the house that got hollowed out without permission, just right across from the Baptist church, the action, two separate actions were taken. One formal withdrawal of the CO application for improvement of the property. And I'm sorry. Then there was another COA, and it was approved for demolition of the property. The property was looked at by Mark McGavick, Nikki Howley, separate engineers. He just went in and took too much out. And so we're going to lose that historic 2-story property in the middle of Main Street in our historic district. And we're sorry to say that his action did get approved. So anything else? No pending, and no additional COAs are on the books for us. And if y'all have any questions about anything, please always feel free to text, call, come to the clinic, and I'll help you out with anything, any questions you need answered.
Thanks so much.
Yes,
We
thank you
appreciate
so
that.
much.
These committees serve without compensation. We appreciate their work. 605 Chestnut Street hearing is now in order. Would you see if any?
Mr. and Mrs. Neely right here on the phone.
All right. Well, I mean, anybody else that wishes to participate in this? Anybody else for the hearing? Anybody else for this hearing? Anyone else for the hearing? All right. Let's proceed with the hearing, and let's, I guess, start with a formal allegation.
So essentially, we've already had the hearing in October. In October, we conducted, we opened the hearing, and then to determine whether 605 was at such a time a state of uncleanliness. At such time and place, the Neelys requested a continuance of the hearing until the next scheduled board meeting in order to remedy the property's conditions. So the board graciously allowed the continuance. On November 4th, 2025 at 7 o'clock, we took up the matter for hearing again, and we concluded the hearing. And at that time, the city building inspector provided proof to the board, and the board made a finding of fact. I'm sorry for having my back.
That's been in the minutes that have been approved?
Yes, sir.
What is the finding of fact?
That the property or parcel of land within the municipality located at 605 Chestnut is in such a state of uncleanliness as to be a menace to the public welfare, and that the only way to remedy the menace is to demolish, destroy, and remove the structure located at said residence. And so we then, pursuant to case law, wanted to give notice to the Neelys of our intent. And so that's why we gave them this notice to appear tonight, so that they could update us on their intent as to the property, because of course they have the option to remedy or remediate the property themselves before the city steps in.
Well, in that, in that instance, I could recognize the Neelys for, and you've heard, Mr. and Ms. Neely, what has been put forward about any steps of remediation or what y'all could do to make, to remedy the problem. So we're ready to hear from y'all. If you choose to, you don't have to, but we're ready to hear from you. Is that agreeable with everyone?
Yes. Y'all said board it up, we're gonna board it up. Know what you said? Or y'all changing your mind? Hello?
Well, the problem, I believe, was that it hasn't been boarded up, and we need action.
You bought the material, it doesn't certify the action.
He has bought 40 pieces of 7/16 wafer board OSB on November 28th, 2025.
Well, when are they to be installed?
Soon as possible. I got a doctor appointment, I ain't able to do nothing right now. It'll be done for the weekend.
All right, within how many days?
For the weekend.
The weekend, before the weekend would be by Friday at 5 p.m.
I'll be Saturday.
Okay, Saturday at 5 then. What say you?
I have no, obviously I don't have a vote, so, but.
Yeah, I have no objection.
I say give him time to get it boarded up.
Yeah,
If he
yeah,
has
so,
to.
And
If
it's,
he's ill, give him time.
and then the inspector is to look and see if it's complied with and report back promptly.
you said you said by the,
Saturday, this weekend.
so I say let's get him through next weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna say give him, he
5
said,
p.m. on Saturday.
well,
No,
if he's
no.
sick, so I say give him
No.
at least a week, cause
No.
if he's ill and it's cold
Okay,
out there.
well then
No,
you want
so-
Saturday,
So
what do you want, Saturday week?
so
I say Saturday,
the 13th.
yeah.
Okay,
Today's the second, so 2 weeks.
Saturday 13th, and you got it at 5 p.m. Is there such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? Any discussion on the motion? Well, what do you say? Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed will say no. All right, that is unanimously passed, so you have to the 13th at 5 p.m.
Okay.
to install it. Okay. And nobody wants to do anything to anybody, unless they have to. Now, we come to the Electric Commission report.
Thank you, Mayor, Board. A couple of things. Long list tonight, so I'm gonna try to talk fast.
5 minutes.
Yeah, gonna need extension. I can't even get warmed up in 5 minutes. If you notice, today, the Electric Commission staff got all the Christmas lights up, and the banners changed out. That's not anything that keeps the lights on, but it's part of community care and one of the great benefits of having a public power agency. Secondly, you, as already alluded to, but the mayor, Looks Great Services completed their 40.7 miles of right-of-way clearing last week in the city, and that was done obviously in an effort to increase reliability and save taxpayer dollars on reduced line loss of electricity that's not metered. That went off without a hitch. They not only completed it well within time, but also within the budget, and so we're very proud. Don't have any complaints from the commission related to that. We had a couple of customers with a few issues here and there, but nothing to the magnitude that one might have expected. And I think some of that was we were able to get some public notification out early on. The paper was gracious to help us in that effort to get that out. And actually went in the last tranche once it got into the city with door hangers saying contracts for the Electric Commission's coming. If you got questions, call. So that went very well. Transformer project at Solero and down at the hospital has been connected. There are a few small things left to be done, fencing, grounding grid, and a few other things. But if you'll remember, it seems like we've only been there 4 months, it seems like 4 years, but it's a long time ago. When we first started talking about that, we had an October 31st deadline to meet. We met that, and that's moving ahead. Also, you'll remember a couple of months ago we had the Mississippi State University Bagley College of Engineering come up and do a site visit with us, spend the whole day. And some of the recommendations that came out of that were really focused on the substation down on Gore Circle. One being, there has been heretofore, not in the past, any temperature control in that control room. That's an old manual control room. We all know it was put there 1942. And one of the things that jumped out to those engineers was the fact that there are about 5,000 different contingencies that could be a problem in there. A screw going loose, a switch going bad, and they were just aghast that we didn't have a temperature control. And so the commission voted, and a mini split HVAC control has been put in that control room. It's a belt and suspenders approach, but one in which hopes to preserve that equipment and stop anything that could be an accidental outage that could cause problems for the cities or problem for the customers citywide. Also, there are, I think, 12 fans that are around. If you go down there and look, there are 12 fans at the base of that transformer. Those fans, I think 9 of the 12 have not been working for a long, long time. Now, in all fairness, that does not add to the capacity of the transformer. It is what it is as far as how much electricity it can take in and it can put out on load. That doesn't help that. What it does help us with is the phrase you get sick of hearing me talk about, line loss. When that transformer, even in cold weather, gets too warm, so especially in the summer, you hear that rattle, we're losing money. Every time we take electricity through it and send it out in the system, that's costing money. And so the commission voted using legislative funds to get those fans repaired. That is all in progress. Also, we're on a regular schedule now for testing for that transformer to make sure that the hydraulic fluid in there is tested to ensure that there are not any metal particles that are coming loose. That isn't going to prevent a disaster, but it's an early warning signal that we would have. Instead of finding out about it in the middle of the night, we would have much more lead time. And of course, again, Mayor, that's legislative funds are paying for that. TVI fiber, as the Mayor talked about earlier, is complete. Total cost on that was somewhere in the neighborhood of $240,000. It's been used with legislative funds. 48 poles were replaced in that process. A massive amount of infrastructure upgrades in the partnership that was struck before we were put in office. And we were able to take that, maximize it, speed it up, and that's all been done and all been complete. That still leaves over about $520,000 once you accrue interest. Vivian will know that number better than me. We looked at it the other day, but about $500,000 left over in that fund. I'll talk in a minute about what we're going to do with that remaining fund. Also, in the search for our general manager, if you remember, we talked about we went out for a nationwide search. Water Valley became the first, well, not the first, the latest member of the American Public Power Association, which is all the public power cities and electric cooperatives in America as a national organization. By virtue of our membership, we were able to do a nationwide search for our general manager, and we had 9 applicants come in. That deadline was last Friday, and we have a good crop. One is withdrawn since then, took another job. But if you remember, and I'm just going back over things we talked about, but it's been a while, we have a ad hoc review committee put together of the general manager of Tallahatchie Valley Electric Power Association, the general manager of Oxford Electric, general manager to be of Louisville Electric, and then Miss Bernadette Martin, who heads human resources for the Tennessee Valley Public Power Association. So we've got 4 individuals with intense knowledge on this job description. They're looking at the crop of now 8 candidates, and they're sending back by Friday at 5 o'clock, hopefully. We'll have back their recommendations of the top 5 for the commission to go forward and interview. Our goal internally is to have that, have those interviews complete and hopefully be able to name a general manager by the end of the year or shortly after the first of the year. I was talking to you a minute ago about the money left over, the $500,000 with the TVI fiber. We moved forward quickly looking on that budget that the money would be left over and began the process of pole inspection and replacement and tagging of all the poles. And so that contract has been let. We've got our first pre-construction meeting on January the 15th. Again, I think I may have briefed y'all on this, but it's worth saying again. This will look at every single pole in the city of Water Valley that's in the ground. We'll get several things out of it. First, they'll all be GIS, so we'll know the coordinates of every light pole, where it is. They'll all be tested to see how long they can last.
This LiDAR thing we did on the roads is helping.
Right, yeah, that's right. And it's going to be a supplement to it. We will test all the poles to look and see which ones are good for now, which ones are good for later. One of the things that we found most egregious in the last 4 months is no electric poles in Water Valley have been treated. So getting a 40-year lifespan out of those electric poles is key to, let's just face it, all of our taxpayers, to make sure those dollars, to carry them as long as we can. So the pre-construction meeting on the 15th of January will deal with pole inspections. All of them be tested to see how long they last, which ones have got to come out, which ones have got 5 or 10 more years. That's a scientific process that will tell us. We will then GIS every pole so that can be populated on a map. So anytime if somebody wants to come in and see how many poles we got, as we add them, they'll go on that map. We will tag every pole. That's another thing. I've talked to you a lot about fixed assets inventory. We do not have any poles tagged. This is a long process, but those will be a part of what we're doing there. And then lastly, look at the pole replacement. Our engineering firm reported to the commission they estimated about 120 poles. At the time TVI fiber started, needed to come out. So I told you a minute ago, 48 have already been replaced. There'll be more, but assuming that we're still in that range of about 60 to 70 poles, we feel like that the grant money from the legislature will take care of that cost, and we will have all those on schedule. So what our goal is by the summer, early summer, to have all the poles inspected, all treated, all tagged, all with the appropriate guide guards on them. So you see the yellow sleeves that go on the guide guard, keep people from backing over them, things like that. And then we will know, we'll be able to get in a replacement schedule so that every year the commission can budget out the number of poles that have to come out in our regular operating budget, not relying upon state funds, but rowing our own boat the way we should. Every year it will be in that budget to take out so many poles and get them replaced as a regular item. This gets us, and I'll say it because Tommy was the mayor was instrumental in getting the money, Kevin Horan was instrumental in getting the money. This gets us out of the ditch with that. It gets us over that mountain to take the big flux of money and make that happen. And we're focused on that intensely to get that done. I don't have to tell you why that's important for the customers of the city. On our fixed assets inventory, won't go back into the issues there, but just know that we have a in-person meeting with Franks, Wildman, and Haygood on the 15th of December to begin that process on fixed assets inventory, to depreciate what needs to be depreciated, to get tagged what needs to be tagged, and to get that in ship shape in a way in which, A, most importantly, is compliant with the law. B, gives us a better picture of the net plant value for both taxation purposes and for TVA purposes, but it's something that has to be done. And it's taken a while to get in there. Remember, when we took over 4 months ago, many of these auditing firms were in the middle of doing their audits for cities. And so as they responded to us, we've had to play a game, but we have kept the state auditor's office apprised of what we're doing, TVA apprised of what we're doing, and we're moving in as judicious and as quick a process as we can. Also on the financial audit side, Bridget Goodman, who we selected as an auditing firm at a net savings to the taxpayer of a couple $1,000, are in the throes of finishing up their audit. If you remember, we dismissed the previous auditing firm, but they have been required to turn over those documents that the city had already relayed to them to the new auditing firm, and that's moving forward. LED street lighting, we've had a lot of conversation with the chief of police over the past couple of months about street lights in the city. What we have found is the inventory at the department has been to nothing on street lights, on LEDs, so we're going to take on a project. Hopefully we'll have quotes tomorrow on 1,000 new LED street lights. Whether or not we can pay for all of them at one time is a different story, but we know we can buy them in tranches of 200, which will give us the opportunity to start converting the old street lights to LED in-house. One thing that we're proud of, we had great meetings with TVA over the last 2 months, and they offer an actual rebate for every street light that we take out and put an LED up. They write a cash check back to the city. The city has never gotten back one copper penny of rebate money from TVA on these conversions. We don't intend to let those dollars stay on the table. So we think that for the entire project, we're looking at about a 30% cash rebate to the Electric Commission budget for what we do in these street light replacements. That is, if we did 1,000. We're gonna have to do them in 200 at a time. We may can do more than 200, but we're trying to measure twice and cut once on spending this type of money, because you're talking about $30,000 to do that. But our staff feels confident they can get that done. On Hometown Grid, while we're talking about street lighting, we have activated the option where a citizen can go in and tell us their street light's out on there, so you can report a street light from Hometown Grid. It goes into the work order system, and we're working on that. The other thing that has become an issue with us that we're taking up is security lights, because it seems that over time the department has gotten behind on getting security lights replaced. The commission's going to look at a policy by which we refund customers. If it's on us, look, customers are paying for a light. If we can't get out there and get it replaced, they should not pay the City of Water Valley for something they're not getting. And so we're going to look at that if it's over a certain amount of time, to stop that charge until such time as we can get that work done to be immensely fair to the customers. There have been a lot of people charged in the past for lights that have been out. That's been brought to our attention, and we want to make sure we get that corrected, just so that it's a fair playing field. If they're getting the service, they pay for it. If it's on us that it hadn't got repaired, our budget will take the hit for it, and we will have to figure out a way to make that work better. TVPPA, which I've told you before, Tennessee Valley Public Power Association, we've engaged them for 7 modules of training for all the electric department employees, mainly centered on customer service and the expectations of customers in today's world. We take it very seriously, as I know as elected officials you do, that every forward projection of attitude, tone, tenor, voice, presentation, and professionalism of this department has to be one in which we show to the public that A, they're appreciated as a customer, B, that they own the system at the end of the day. It's none of us, it's the public at large that owns it, and that we are meeting them with a smile, with a good attitude, and treating them the way we would want our grandmother treated if they've got a problem. And so the next several months are going to be weekends of training on that, to make sure that we are sharpening our pencil to be as good public stewards as we can be. In the vein of customer engagement, the commissioners in private funds cleared by the state auditor have gone out and ordered a good bit of what some people call swag, but things such as caps and bags and handbags and little things that's got the commission logo on it to begin a giveaway process in the next couple of weeks. Cleared it by the state auditor, Tom Chain at the state auditor's office, so that customers that will sign up for bank draft or to be paperless will enter into a drawing, and every week we'll be giving away hats, we'll be giving away stuff for people to get engaged. It's to the benefit of the taxpayers of Water Valley for more people to be on bank draft, for more people to go paperless, and let's try to modernize this system. One way to do that is to kind of make it fun for customers and show that they're appreciated, and so that'll be something that we're doing. I told you last month we eliminated the $1 fee. That was just absolutely a poke in the eye to customers. For if you come to the office and you didn't have your bill, then you were asked to pay $1 for us to look your bill up. That is ridiculous and should be offensive to every citizen of Water Valley. We're not only looking at that. Please, as elected representatives or member of the public, if you experience a policy like that we're not aware of, tell us. We want to eliminate and obliterate anti-customer policies that make it a job to come do business with the City of Water Valley's electric department. We want to be the friendliest, the nicest, the easiest to do business with, the most smooth transaction that you can have, because the citizens at the end of the day own it. So we're alert and we're on the hunt for finding these type of small things that can be done to make life better for the citizens and make ourselves more customer friendly. In that vein, one of the things that we discovered was the city has not sent out disconnection notices. And this is going to involve needing to engage with the city, because y'all still retain authority over the water department. Disconnection notices by law, Supreme Court ruling, have to go out 5 days prior to someone being disconnected utilities. We have been in the process of going out right now with our billing vendor to get that in process for the month of December, so that customers get that appropriate, separate second notice, minimum of 5 days before their power is to be shut off. What we found is on days in which we go and cut power off, that's not coordinated with the water department. And so that the water is not cut off simultaneously with when the power is cut off. And so the commission is of consensus and just wants to put the board on notice that we don't feel like that we can legally collect reconnection fees for water if the water has not been cut off. And so that's an internal policy for y'all to work out, but we're not going to be in the business of charging somebody a reconnection fee for water if the water has not been shut off. That's a policy, y'all can work out amongst yourselves, but that is something we've experienced over the last month. That's an issue. One of the solutions may be to come. You got a question?
No.
Oh.
I agree, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So there's a
That
$35 fee to reconnect power and a $35 fee to reconnect electricity. When we shut off the electricity, it's been automatically been the practice to charge the customer for both, even if the water is not shut off. And so, I think on its face, everybody knows we shouldn't be charging that if the water's not going to be cut off. If the water's cut off, happy to charge it and collect it and turn around and hand it to the water department, but it's something that's going to have to be coordinated. In that vein, we're looking at right now in a planning session to look at repurposing the city's electric department's billing cycle to maximize our advantage of discounts with TVA and to balance that with fairness to the homeowner. So let me give you an example. Today, electric bills are rendered to Water Valleyans on the 13th of the month. Should be at the mailbox on the 13th of the month. That is the most awful time for a working family to have a monthly bill arrive in their mailbox that they've got to pay is the 13th of the month. So the commission is actively engaged looking now at how that can be changed to the normal cycle that we all would expect. And that is that your power bill, your utility bill is rendered on the 1st of the month, past due after the 15th, subject to cut off before the end of the month. So that a working family, a small business, has that at the beginning of the month rather than at the middle of the month. Is to be fair to customers. Number two is that we give options on bank draft. Right now you can only get drafted one day. That's 7 days after the 13th. Your bank draft comes out on the 20th. Some days it hits the 21st. We want to move it to where that you have a chance for the first Thursday of the month or the second Thursday of the month. You pick as to when your draft comes out, so that a family can pick the first Thursday of the month, or if payroll hits another time, the second Thursday of the month. Doesn't matter. You'll never get into the 15th of the month as being your past due date. But that's something that has got to be looked at and got to be considered to try to bring fairness to customers and give them a chance to have at least some options on their bank draft. Let's see.
Let me interject. Yes, I have talked with Brandon about the synchronization of the billing cycle, and I think that is a proper thing, and I think we'll do that. And that makes no sense not to. And reconnection should be, if you're not disconnected, I don't think you can charge, and I think from this day forward that should not be.
And there can be some coordination. We're happy
we need
to
coordination.
And we're happy
We've talked about it.
Yeah, Mayor's talked about it. We're happy to coordinate that. If you remember, Electric Commission staff enters in all of the meter readings. They're not done automatically like electricity is, where we can automatically read almost now 90% of the system. They're manually done. I think Nathan does a great job as a meter reader. Yeah. It takes your water department, I think, about 3 weeks to read all the meters in town, and then office personnel has to take sometimes around 3 days to key all that in. That's got to get synced up. It could be. This is not our business, but I'm a citizen, so I'll say it. It could be some of the reason you've got loss of revenue. It could be other things. That needs to be synced to where those bills are rendered at the same time, go out at the same time, and represent that prior month's usage. If you've ever been a customer of any utility, that's just how the thing works. And so we've got to get on that cycle. Our purpose in it, it doesn't make the electric commission one dime of doing it that way. It doesn't. In fact, it will probably end up incidentally costing us a few dollars because we're going to give a little extra time before the penalty and a little more time related to shutoffs. But y'all, it's just a fair thing to do, and it's just the right way to go about public billing. Also, in this last month, in part of our participation in the TVA Energy Right program, we were able to help signing off on $22,000 in rebates to Yalobusha County, and then a $5,000, and that $22,000 in rebate comes from TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority, and $5,000 grant from the Tennessee Valley Authority, the Water Valley High School robotics team. Which is a very good thing, and those are dollars that are available in the community. Don't come out of our budget. They're not funds that would be appropriated. They're from the Tennessee Valley Authority. We also are in a real push on surplus property at the shop. If you go to our shop and take a look around, it's better than it was, but that entire block is a disgrace to the citizens of Water Valley. If you look at the property, I mean, quite frankly, we probably ought to be writing ourselves a clean up our property ticket with the way it looks. It's not a good projection. It's not a good image that we're sending out to people that come into town. We don't have jurisdiction over all of it, but over what we do have jurisdiction over is in the process of being cleaned up. We have got a field visit I'll talk tomorrow about in a minute about with USDA. But if there's not going to be sincere movement to move things to the chicken plant, and we know that's going to take time, we're going to entertain prices to look at concreting the whole block back there so that that equipment can get out of it. There is, and I just be glad to carry you down there anytime you'd like to, there is minimum of $50,000 to $60,000 worth of materials with grass growing up through it. There's old dump trucks that the city owns. There's trees growing through it. If you haven't ridden it, if that's the image we want to project to the public of how Water Valley government looks, we ought to write ourselves a ticket for it. And so that's just, it's the truth. And so we're going to do our part of getting that cleaned up. And it's got to go, it's got to be cleaned up. There is no doubt in my mind, after 25 years in government, 24 years in government, we have bought materials that sitting out there with the tree growing through it. We can't do that. And so we're in the process now of getting that all cleaned up. We're declaring a lot of things surplus property, worthless, scrap, they'll be gone. We have a contractor coming in with 2 dumpsters that will start doing that. And hat tip to our field staff who have spent the last 2 days really doing a good job going in, cleaning and getting ready. That's going to be integral, as you may already guess, to the inventory process. A lot of things, a lot of money that taxpayers spend in the electric system in Water Valley aren't fixed assets that require a property tag. There are a ton of wires and bolts and things. We're also going through the proper records retention process that the law has in place today. Above our workshop, there's a room up there, you can't even walk through it. For all the records that go back to the 1970s, we can't use this vault in here. Ms. Vivian knows this, I showed the other day. I think there's electric bills back to the 60s in there. There's no requirement for that to be taken. And so we're going to get on a proper statutory based records retention process. Things you have to keep forever, we'll keep forever. Things you keep for 5 years, they'll roll off some every year. But that's got to be cleaned up and be done. Tomorrow, we have the State Director of the USDA Rural Development, Mr. Dane Maxwell, who I serve. He was Southern District Public Service Commissioner my last term as Northern District Public Service Commissioner. He's a dear friend. He and the Deputy Director are coming in for a facilities tour in the morning at 10 with the Electric Department. We'll meet here for a minute. Jeff Atwell, our engineer, will talk about it and then talk about the needs of the department. Then we're going to go out to the substation, to the shop, and to other places. I'm almost ashamed to carry him, just be honest, but we're going to, and show what we have and what things are going. Then we'll have lunch. Then he'll meet with the fire chief and the police chief after that before they depart back out to Jackson. It should be a good meeting. I know the mayor's going to join us, I think, for lunch. And when he can, all of y'all are welcome and invited, including you, Mr. Howell, from the press. Last but not least, we got good indicators last week on the $2 million Delta Regional Authority grant. If you remember, that would go to replace a lot of this old 4 kV system that's, as the mayor pointed out earlier, is 10 times more costly to the city, 10 times more expensive to fix, and is just a nightmare waiting to happen. All that money will go to do a lot of that, a lot of those corrections. I think that's got all 27 items I had on my list covered, and I'll be glad to answer your questions.
I would say, Brandon, not only is the 4K wire, it is not only 10 times more inefficient, but it's a safety hazard.
It's a big safety hazard.
And we are fortunate that we have not lost a good bit of our downtown.
One of the things, to the mayor's point on that, when the fire broke out behind the main part of town on the west side of Main Street, remember, we didn't have an outage monitoring system at the time. So that could have happened and nobody knows. Luckily today, if those meters go out, in many cases, the Electric Commission staff knows it before the customer even realizes it. So it automatically dispatches our folks out there, and there's a record. And all 5 of the electric commissioners signed up. So if, God forbid, somebody didn't answer in the field, it's coming to Brandon Presley, Barry Weeks, Terry Allen, to Ray Hawkins, and to Dr. Person. It comes to we see every one of them that comes out. And there's a public-facing map that you as a citizen can go to hometowngrid.com/Water Valley and watch yourself anytime there's an outage and how they come in. Any questions you got?
Well, that, we appreciate
Thanks,
that,
sir.
and I will say that I think there is we need to have synchronization of the bills. You know, Rome isn't built in a day, but Rome's getting built.
Romans worked every day though.
Rome, it's something every month. The Romans are doing something new every month. So we've got a lot to do, but I think we've accomplished a good many things, but we have a lot more to do.
As a good segue, I meant to ask the board, I talked with, about the chicken plant demolition and auction, and talked to the auctioneer, and he said that he would need the help of the city engineer to build the advertisement for bids. And so I took the liberty of calling Carl
Willis.
Grubb,
Yeah.
right, and spoke with Willis Engineering, and he said that it would be a small project, 2-page document. Basically, he'd meet with Mark as to what we want to get in place, and then submit that, I guess, for us to, well, not I guess, he'll submit that for us to approve, and then we'll submit that to the
and
auctioneer.
the fee for Willis would be under the threshold amount. So Willis is contract personal services anyway, and he
Right.
is the city engineer.
But
I don't think anybody has any problem with that. Is a motion that the retention of Willis to perform that function be approved?
Make that motion.
Okay, this motion and second. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Now, also, I did sign a document, requesting for the cleanup, as the commissioner will say, on the inmates.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have not because you asked not. There is available folks, and they'd lots rather be doing something than they had to be in a jail cell all day. And so, and it's good for people to be in that, breathe that fresh air and be doing something productive. They feel better about themselves, and people can see about that. So that is in the works for the cleanup, as he was talking about. And so and a lot of places do that. I've seen it done in the past, and I've seen it work well. Next, Park Commission. Robert Mays, and Robert not only is the Park Commission, he's doing invaluable work on the city website and many other things. So go ahead with us on the Park Commission, Robert.
All right, thank you, Mayor, Board. And actually, I'm going to flip-flop that a little bit. I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on the city website. So we have one that's up, publicly available. I have not socialized it just yet. We're still adding content. We have a primary page, a Parks Commission page, a calendar for the Civic. I've been working with Grant on a walking tour of Water Valley that we're hosting PDFs of our historic buildings, and soon, Grant, over the next couple of months, you'll start seeing QR codes at these buildings where you can scan it. It will pull up a PDF that gives you the full history of these old buildings, and we're going to set up a little path that you can take that will go to all of our old historic buildings, and the history is just fascinating.
The Freedom Trail in Boston.
Yeah. But the history of this town is fascinating, and I don't think enough people know about it. I know I didn't, and after talking to Grant, it was just amazing. So those, you'll start seeing those. Those are working. We've got 6 now.
5
or 6. That will work, and I'm going to put links on the page, on one of the pages on the website itself. That way, if you just want to read about it, you can, without going through the whole QR process. I'll be working with Brandon to get an Electric Commission page set up. Same for historic, and links to Main Street is already there.
City
Chamber
ordinances and who to call for what.
So I've been working with Miss Vivian.
I've got some more. I just sent you a few of them today that I've looked through.
I've got several that I've got from her that will be linked on there. And I think
Planning Commission?
Yes, planning commission, and I don't see.
So somebody that
Yeah,
comes to
well,
Water Valley, all they need to do is go to that, and then they can, and then billing also will be worked on.
But that will be socialized to a much larger group. I will work with David Howe to get that in the paper, and then we'll have some people share that on, you know, the social media sites so that, you know, people can start using it. All right, on to Park Commission. Tonight is a story of good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's talk about some of the good stuff recently. I know Ben had come to y'all a few weeks ago in one of your meetings where we had initially received a donation to put a second pickleball court at City Park, and with all the extra we'd have to do with that, it's just not going to be possible.
Well, now, but we will.
Well, what he had asked y'all to vote on is allowing us to use tennis courts at Crawford. We have the materials to do it. The Park Commission approved that so that we can paint the lines on the tennis courts. The nets will be movable, so you can still play tennis. If you want to play pickleball, you can. A second thing that we
like
also...
Oxford does.
Correct. Second thing we voted on was to remove that lock. So there's a lock on the tennis court, and it just seems if you're in the know, you know how to get in. If you don't, then you're just SOL. I'm sorry, but you have to find somebody that knows a combination to that. So this is an experiment. We are removing the lock to have people use it, and if people start abusing it, we'll go back to the drawing board with something.
Hours restricted if needed.
Something, yes.
Maybe that won't happen.
Let's see. Historic walking tour. Civic. A few things on the Civic. We are now hosting monthly commission meetings there. So the Park Commission, Electric Commission, YGA, the Yalobusha Greenways Alliance, they're hosting their meetings there. We had a Blackmer Library. They use that for a Bell Witch, Elizabeth, is that yeah, Bell Witch book lecture. We've got Water Valley High School Christmas concert next Monday or Tuesday. Is it Monday? They're using that. We also had a local business here in Water Valley, the Water Valley Cheer and Tumble. They had their fall-winter recital there. They will be coming back in the spring for their large recital, which will be 300 plus people. So it's really going to be a big to-do. We also we hosted a food insecurity talk with Compassion Ministries.
And they've raised $50,000. They raised $50,000 as a result of that.
Yeah.
$50,000.
So it's getting some good use both from the nonprofit and from the profit side. A little bit more on the Civic. Daniel, got a question for you. The surplus auditorium seats, have we decided if we are going to declare those as surplus so that we can sell those, get rid of them? Jesse Gerner had...
Well, I thought we already declared them
I think
surplus.
they have been, and I think they can be disposed of in the manner, there's 4 ways to do it by law. And
I thought they were going to be donated to somebody. That's off the top of my head.
Well, you can make a treaty with another local government, or you could do this.
Yeah, I don't know
We'd
about
have
the
to go back and
donation.
look in
Right now,
in a minute.
We'll
Yeah,
look. We can look that
well,
up.
we moved them out of the Civic, which is where they were at. We did not want to put them in the chicken plant. They're pristine.
They're good seats.
Right now, they're in a storage unit that's being paid for privately. So
we need
that needs to
well, I
stop.
tell you, we can, if they're surplus and it's lawfully been determined, we got everything we paid for.
Mhm.
You know, these
Yes.
they were given.
We
in
kept
addition.
back a
Good folks in Utah.
25 or so, just in case tears, stains that we can
And they
replace.
will.
Yeah. So we kept back a few, but there were so many extras.
Mhm.
So then I'll check with Jesse. I mean, we just need to know, are we trying to sell?
You think the school could use it?
Honestly, don't know.
Well, we could
Because
inquire of the school.
the elementary school, I know I don't believe has
They
any
wouldn't.
use for them.
No.
Neither
The-
does the high school.
It may
There's no
not.
space at the high school.
I don't know, y'all can just.
I know it's a bad problem to have, but you know, we do need to.
Well, I mean, they've done a great service.
Yeah.
So we're glad to have them.
We've also,
We'll check on that and we'll, if we, now they can draw, you know, you can declare them surplus, but you can sell them and, get some money that can be used, plowed back into the city.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, they are working on the curtains, they're gonna have the curtains black, you know. Jesse and some of the other ladies said it needed to be that way, and that's the way they do it in other places, and so they're getting the curtains just right. And that's a big deal.
That was one of my next things is we're getting
So-
curtains installed. We also have received one quote for a movie screen and projector. We're waiting for a second one to come in, and then sound system install should be
New sound
imminent.
system.
We've already got that. We just have to get it installed.
And we had the money, the money it's just like the oil in the lamp at the wedding feast. It has lasted, Vivian. And we've been able to do everything that we needed to do so far.
I've got the mixer or something that goes with it in there on my camera. Never quite sometimes.
We're blessed.
We have started talking, this is very early, just to get an idea of what it's going to cost, about parking. So Civic is a fantastic place. We have zero parking for that. You're parking on the street, you're parking in that small little lot behind the First Baptist,
Which
and that's
the
it.
city owns
Right,
that, and
correct.
then you got, so, you
But-
know, that's something to look at.
But this, with like the high school concert, it's going to be a lot of people. This spring
Hope so.
recital, 300 plus. That's a lot of cars to try and find a place to park on Main Street and, you know, Central Street. There's just not, you know, there's not good places. So we have started some preliminary looks into what it's going to take to, because I know that's a floodplain back there. We've got problems with that. We've got to figure that out, and then what type of surface
And make
to
it
put
look
in.
good, so that it. you know,
Correct.
That's, appearance is very important on your city.
Yeah. Let's see, another item going with Compassion Ministries. We did have a request about a blessing box, a food pantry to be installed at a couple of our parks to start. One is Baker Street. We have the base. Mr. James McCormick, he stepped out, has been very integral in that. Him and a few others have been building those. So we've got the spot in Baker Street. That should probably be up in a week or so. The second one we want to put in Crawford. We need to kind of look to see where it'd be best to
Yeah,
work in
that
Crawford.
would, yeah, you need to do that, and, but the blessing box, you know, our church has a blessing box, and it is, I'm gonna tell you what, there's a lot of people, there's a good many, and of course, I don't look who's using it, but I'm gonna tell you, it's well used.
There's lots of traffic
It's
that
well
goes through
used,
there.
well used.
Next, I had asked the commission members if they would go to each of our parks and kind of look around and see what's good and what's bad. So we got a lot of feedback. I'm going to write up kind of a report for the board. I did not have time to finish that before this meeting. We've got a lot of good things with our parks. We've got a lot of bad. I think one of the biggest problems we have is we don't have a maintenance schedule that I can see, where we've got things timed out with this needs to be done quarterly, monthly.
Or an adequate stream of funding, therefore.
Well, some of this is just general maintenance that is just an employee salary. It's just making sure that the slides, you know, the bolts are tight. And then, you know, it's silly stuff like that. Make sure the lights are working. That type of thing. That's what I'm talking about to start. Very minimum basics. Like, you know, you have to get your oil changed in a car every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. If you don't, it breaks and you got to buy a new one. Get the oil change first and you don't have to worry about that. So we've got to do just those minimum things to keep these playgrounds in condition so these kids can play, period. So I will have a full report for that. Lighting for Crawford. So we all know the state of some of the lights down in Crawford. Ms. Vivian had sent me some information about the actual light fixtures themselves. apparently that company has gone out of business. I had someone go out to give me a quote on fixing those lights. He said 2 of them are actually broke on the base, so either we replace or we somehow try to fix, and I don't know if it's fixable. So I've got to find out a little bit more information on that.
Well, look into that.
I am. Next for Crawford, bathrooms. We have to get the bathrooms fixed. We have to. It's gotten worse and worse, and the Rachel is doing what she can to keep up with.
She's had to go around getting money for such a thing.
It's got to the point where it's not the plumbing in the building. We think it's something further out.
It is.
And we have too many events up there with too many people and no working bathrooms. That's unacceptable for us. You know, if we're all the good things that we're doing in this town, and then you have these events there and we can't do it. So I got to have some help with that. I got to, we've got to figure that out. Let's see. We've also started looking into some additional funding. Jesse Gerner, Elizabeth Wright, they have been looking for grants and whatnot to see what we can apply for. There's not a lot of stuff out there right now. And what is very, very hard to get, but we are continuously going to be looking into those to see what we can get. We had originally planned to have a budget meeting last week. We had to postpone that. When I say budget, to look at what the parks budget is that Ms. Vivian had sent, to see how we can use that money. We're talking about the maintenance schedule and all, how we can kind of not necessarily shift anything, but use it possibly in a better way to help keep up with the maintenance. And that will be next Tuesday. That will be part of our regular Tuesday meeting. We are going to dive into that. We did discuss surveillance cameras a couple meetings ago. Again, don't really have the money for that, but we did have some discussion on how much they're needed at our parks. We know some things have happened in the past. We're still in pretty deep discussion about that. Let's see. I don't know. I think that's about it. Other than not just the grants, we are looking at some other paths for funding. I talked to you a little bit about, Mayor. Plan on having a formal proposal for that, whether it's in a special meeting or your next meeting in January.
We appreciate your good work and the work of the Parks Commission. I think the parks add a lot to the city, and the money, I wish we had the funding that others have for their parks and things, but we do need to, as you say, use our resources as best we can, and try to get more resources.
Yep.
So.
All right. Any questions from anyone?
Well, we thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you.
And you work on the the website is again is appreciated. Now, Daniel, declaration of local emergency.
It's the continuing.
Well, let me ask you this: is it a consensus of the board that the emergency continues in regard to has been tonight that more poles are needed to be replaced, and we do have a fire hazard or a danger from the electric system? Is there?
I would think that before we make a conclusion, a finding of fact that one is not being incurred, we would need to, because it directly relates to the condition of the electrical infrastructure of the city, that we would need to confirm with the Electric Commission that all of the remediation has been performed and paid for.
And that's not happened?
Not to my
All right. Well, is there a motion that the declaration of local emergency for electric be continued?
I make the motion.
Make that
Second.
motion.
There's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, that's passed. Now, Will. He's popular tonight.
I know, I'm gonna be quick.
What you got? What you got, man?
Alright, so we got these two houses. I brought them last time. Same ones, 293 ply and 286 ply. For, I don't know if we ever decided anything last time. I don't think we did. I think the question was asked, did we talk to them? I have sent out a letter to 286 ply. Haven't heard anything back.
To the property owner?
Yes.
Oh, and you've heard no response?
Not yet, no sir.
How long how long did you give them to respond?
I didn't give them a certain time. This was just a, hey, your property may be having to come to a hearing. It's just, you know, basically.
It appears to be
Right, warning letter.
Dilapidation.
293.
Daniel,
Sir.
The board could authorize you to take further steps
Yes, sir.
if they so chose.
Bless him.
So you've got no response from either one?
Well, I'm still working on 293 fly. That was kind of tricky, but not yet.
Okay, that does appear to be occupied.
No, sir. Neither one of these have power.
Well, I mean, I think we could authorize the further procedure to occur on these properties. Daniel, we probably need a separate vote, I would think.
Yes,
We
sir.
would.
Well, I mean, I'm just sending them a demand letter saying that it's come under our attention and we will set it for hearing.
Then let's do this, and we can use the same motion second with unanimous consent for vote. Is there a motion that we direct and authorize the city attorney to write a demand letter that the properties be, the violations be remedied on the
No,
properties?
that's the house beside it.
There is a motion, there's a second.
Second.
All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that is unanimously adopted.
Another update on this dilapidated property issue is that I, with Mr. Martin's approval, have sent out 13 warning letters over the past month.
Okay.
And I've gotten feedback from 4 or 5, I can't remember. But all of those are in agreement. Yeah, something needs to be done with it. We're going to board it up. 2 of them are already in the process of tearing it down, and that's where we're at on that. Also, next year, hopefully, this legislator, I believe, passed a new grant for municipalities to use for dilapidated properties this year. We're supposed to get funding in March of next year. So we can apply for it 15 times in a year, and we can get $2,000 per application, if we get it, obviously. But that would go towards demolition of structures.
So, but you know, it can be of help. So, if you don't ask for something, you got 100% chance of not getting it. And we need to ask for everything that can be beneficial in this community, I think.
Okay. Next thing on the chopping block. Pass all these around. I guess I'll do the whole thing. So I'm proposing new building permit fees because we have an ordinance from 2009 when they were implemented that has not been updated ever, to my knowledge or Miss Vivian's knowledge. And I think it's time we get up to speed with it. That's my proposed new permit fees. I can explain it if I need to, but I tried to write it out where it was understandable.
On your temporary structures, how big what would trigger that? What size do you have?
There's not a size requirement. Honestly, we don't get any of those here because the Solera is the only one I know of since I started doing it, and it's not, you know, this is like a day or so. But that was in the old ordinance, so I put it in this one just to keep it in there.
What, industrial, is that what you're saying? What are these?
Temporary structures.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
anything with roof and walls that can be moved, basically.
Well, it's a tent.
Right.
You know, Solera used a tent today. That-
Right, and yeah.
Probably not, they've brought us good news, so we like that.
No, I'm not going for that. I just kept it in there because it was already in there.
Okay.
What about this $100 re-inspection fee?
So we have a re-inspection fee in there already, so that's what it is now. I just kept it the same. I never charge anybody re-inspection.
No, what I'm saying, if you go inspect Daniel's building, you find something, you gonna charge him $100 to re-inspect it?
If we have to, I don't go that route because I have a good relationship with a lot of contractors in town. If I say, hey, this is wrong, they'll say, all right, we'll get it fixed, and they do. So I don't feel the need.
This is construction, it's not
building. No, this is building permits for inspections, building inspections for construction. Residential homes, commercial buildings.
Well, if somebody just determined to do wrong, I reckon.
$100 is what it
I went
is
to the house
right
today
now.
that definitely would have got a
Already.
re-inspection fee.
So,
You left
no,
that
what
one
I'm saying, what is the initial charge?
The building permit, and then the trade permits on there that covers. Ours are $30 right now. I would like to $30 a piece, so $90 for the whole thing. I would like to bump them up to $75 because that is what pays me to go out there, and we're losing money right now the whole
Reimburses
way
the
around.
city
Right.
for it.
Yeah, I don't get the money for it, but you know. So no, I don't. But we're losing money on it right
Now,
now.
how does this compare? Is that comparable to other places?
Absolutely. I brought a chart.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Oxford. Obviously, that's an outlier. I don't want to be Oxford. This is Lafayette County, Panola County, Houston, Mississippi, which we do not want to be like, and Batesville. No hate on Houston, but according to the census, they're a dying city, and I do not want to be in the same boat as them.
Yeah, well, we want to be a growing city.
Right. According to the census, we are.
There you go. Well, we are.
They lose a lot of people a year, apparently.
Well, we can be a dying city if we worked hard enough to do
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
But we're not
I think
going to do that.
if we stay where we're at on the buildings, we may make it there. It's pretty rough.
I've been here this weeks.
Yeah, Miss Vivian has helped me out a lot with this, just so y'all know. She needs a pat on the back for that.
No, I've had to listen a lot.
She's helped me out a lot.
So with these increases, how much will the city make more a year on average?
On average, between me and Miss Vivian, we estimated roughly 125 permits per year, give or take. We would probably bring in somewhere around 54,000 extra a year if we got up to speed with the surrounding cities.
Might also stop people from building.
Well, that was an argument, but then I thought about it. Where are they going to go? Because they can go to Oxford and pay triple, or go to Batesville and pay the same amount.
Oxford doesn't mind collecting.
No doubt. We're 5 times less than them, just to give you a number on that one.
3 times
I
less
can
than
confirm that's true.
We are 2.5 times less than Batesville right now.
These increases would still keep it 2 times less.
No, the increases would put us right on par with them. Yes, ma'am.
With Batesville.
With Batesville.
But you'd be how much below Oxford?
A lot. Still, so I think Oxford was 1640 for just the permit, no trade permits involved. I think I'd have to look at that, but that would put us about half of Oxford. And that's including our trade permits. We'd be at 600 for a building permit on a 2,000 square foot house, and Oxford's at 1640. So, roughly.
Before we voted on that, could you put a spreadsheet together to let us better understand exactly how much dollars we're talking about?
I can. Would the graph work?
He created a graph, Mr. Rogers. I tell you what, I could take a picture of it
Why
and
don't you
text it to
take
you.
a picture of it and send it to
Okay. I just didn't know that we didn't have anything on paper. I just thought it was.
Yes, sir.
Send them out to him because he don't know.
There he goes.
Did you send it?
Yes, sir.
Herbie, did you get it?
This way, I hadn't got it yet, but
Technology.
okay, guys, thanks. Am I still there?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we can move on.
That's all I got.
All right,
Unless
so
y'all have questions.
Is there a motion for this, or what y'all's pleasure?
So essentially, Herbie, he's asking that we change the current structure, which is the first, obviously it's listed Water Valley, and he's saying that we adopt the Panola County structure, was at the end. And so that's how much will increase if you look at the Panola County bars. And then, of course, the other surrounding areas are highlighted or in between.
That'll bring us kind of up to par where we're not losing money.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Will?
Yes, sir, that's right.
I'll make the motion that we adapt this one for Panola County versus ours.
I second it.
All in favor?
Here's y'all some good news to ponder on. Me and Ms. Vivian also have been working on that.
That's
It's our
adopted.
new building permit. And
What
it'll
is the
keep us out of
effective
trouble.
date? Effective date of this is,
I'll have to amend the existing ordinance and bring it back for adoption by the board.
all right, we'll do that.
Yes, sir.
And we'll do that. You can, you amend it, and then they review it to determine if it's in accordance with what they want.
Yes, sir.
And then they vote it.
You can keep all that.
Anything else,
Thank you.
Will?
Oh, no.
All right,
That's
now-
our new building permit right there. Me and Ms.
We've
Vivian are
got,
working on.
we've got a Christmas,
So,
yeah, Christmas dinner for all city employees, December 8th at 2025 at 12 noon. We will have a meeting on December 4th also. Grant Thompson.
At 5:30. 5:15. I didn't know.
It's set in the advertisement.
Is it not?
And I didn't go back and look.
No. What time is it? 6?
I think it's 6:30.
Let's go get the newspaper.
Yes, sir.
All right, and we've got, a setting of zoning for Calhoun and Stephen Street.
It says zoning hearing.
I think it says it's.
That's just to let everybody know what it is.
All right. Well, fill me in on that, Vivian.
I think that's one Daniel gave me. So I
And then
think-
let's defer on that till Daniel
That's
gets
just to let
back.
everybody know about the hearing.
6:30 on the 4th.
Okay, well, that's when it'll be.
Good photo op. Sorry.
6:30 on the 4th, okay. All right, now, okay, we got the band, and Grant, now you've got, I believe, a motion that we have each city department come up with an emergency plan, is that right?
That's correct. That's correct.
You wanna make that motion?
Unless there's further discussion, we've all been in the,
Well, at least there's a second.
in the classes. Yeah, I make a motion that we
Is there a
adopt a
second?
formal written plan.
And each department head have input in that plan, and
That's
then we
exactly
will,
right.
then this board and me will review it.
That's,
as I
that's exactly right.
roll under the statute.
Through Mark McGavick, the department heads already know about this.
Well,
It's already in place.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Now that's passed. Now we've got the setting of zoning hearing for Calhoun and Stephen Street. And Daniel, we need to make sure that we do that,
Yes, sir.
in proper time frame.
January 6th at 7 o'clock. I would ask that y'all, I'll set that for a hearing on January 6th at 7 o'clock if y'all could approve
All right,
that.
is there a motion that is?
No, sir, that's the bond hearing is Thursday. Yes, sir.
All in, on number 18, all in favor? Was there a motion, first off?
I'll make a motion.
January 6th.
I mean, number 17, to set the hearing date.
Yeah.
All right, there's a motion and
January
second.
6th.
Yes, sir.
What time?
7.
Motion and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that's adopted. Next, we're gonna, let's see, is Jason present? Would you come forward, please? All right, tell us about the parking space memorandum of understanding with school district.
I'd like to be, I've taken this to the school board and they're in favor. What this would do is the parking spaces along Main Street in front of the high school during school hours or events for all practical purposes would fall under school rules, school grounds rules. The city would maintain maintenance of the spaces as we currently have, but the school, we can enforce school rules in those parking places anytime the school is in session or has an event.
Is
And
there,
they're practically on school grounds anyway.
is there a motion that this recommendation be adopted?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? That motion and second made, is there discussion?
I would like, as part of that, Mr. Mayor, if I be the signatory authority, MOU with the superintendent.
Well, that'd be,
Well,
he's given
chief
the authorization to do
that
it.
is.
What is your form,
Right.
what does your form say? Is this a standard?
Yes. Like I asked the school board at their meeting this month, and they were gonna send it to their attorney also, just
Right,
for.
now this memorandum of understanding can take effect upon execution by both parties and shall remain in effect unless terminated by either party within 30 days written notice. That's pretty well standard.
And I'll go back to the school board at their December meeting to let them know the city board's opinion, and me and the superintendent sign it.
Nothing in this MOU shall be construed as a waiver of governmental immunity, so sovereign immunity would still apply under the Tort Claims Act, and each party be responsible for his own acts and omissions, so harmless. All in favor, motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Again, all right, it's done. Now, is there a motion that we go into executive session on the question of personnel of the various items listed?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
So, just for, I know, so earlier on the earlier draft of our agenda, we had.
Motion for closed determination on the question of going into executive session. Go ahead, Daniel.
Sorry. We had second chance outlined, and so Ms. Beard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Made efforts to be here tonight and made efforts to, in case that we had any questions for her. So I didn't want to close. Because we had previously that one complaint. I explained to Ms. Beard that that was a citizen complaint and that the second chance was listed thereon as, but it wasn't necessarily the board complaining about them in that instance.
No, so what is she seeking permission?
I just wanted to recognize.
Oh,
that
yeah,
she
we appreciate you coming.
Right.
But
and, yeah.
the complaint is not before us, because they took themselves out.
I haven't heard anything from them, so I assume it all is well.
He did, so, well, it's, he's.
The night
longer.
with the dogs, I actually found out who the owner was, and the owner went and got the dogs.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing that he did.
But now, I don't know about the issue with did we ever figure out about the lock?
Well, we're gonna talk about the dog catcher and hiring the dog catcher, and that was on our executive session, and the dog, and the police department has already talked with Ms. Beard and the second chance about future steps, so they're on the same page.
And that's a good thing.
Well,
Well, it's working toward resolution,
as long as
everybody's working together. And try, well, I mean,
Not understanding what's
as
wrong.
far as we know. As far as we know.
Trying to.
That's it.
Well, that's right. All right, now we have a motion for closed determination on the question of executive session. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
All in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. All opposed? Now, is there a motion that we, and what, you got the appropriate times, Vivian? Is there now a motion that we resolve, that this board resolve itself into executive session on the question of the consideration of the personnel matters as listed on the agenda herein? Is there such a motion? Is there a second to that motion? All right. As many as favor that motion will say aye.
Aye.
Herbie?
Good job.
Me too.
So it passes by a vote of 4-0.
As a hometown bank, Bank First is proud to offer top-notch banking products with perks that support local businesses and people who support their communities. We believe our towns, no matter the size, deserve the best products and the best customer service, an experience we all deserve. We're hometown banking at its best. Do you bank with us? You should.
The City of Water Valley monthly board meeting, sponsored by Bank First of Water Valley.